Uh, uh, I am Alpha Master Pimp, so easy. Active dominant in the BDSM realm and into some upper metaphysical lifestyle things, but I'm also a grown P-funker of sorts, so with all the jokes you want to say, I look like this every day, so don't try to play with me today. What I'd like to talk about today is um, life and death and our existence, our emotional self and our reality self. I'm almost 50 and I'm kind of right now faced with having to witness the pulling and the plug of my father, my pops. The only pops I've had all my life. And in the process I've been going through trying to formulate how would I be able to express certain emotional things and at the same time not give off a who this nigga look like he crazy. Wow. I come from a long line of gangsters. Long line of black folks of not necessarily superior, but more of a dominant kind of persuasion. And I'm not talking about from a ghetto perspective. I'm talking about in the full realm. Uh, this man called my father actually owned the Civil Rights Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, during the late 60s, early 70s, to the point that we had to leave Pittsburgh because of the death threats were just getting way too much for people to actually prevent. And in the meantime, I was one of these prodigy children, one of these kids that a lot of the Hineses and the Hugheses and the Carnegies and the Mellons and the Rockefellers and uh, the uppity ooze and you know what I'm saying. Uh, all saw forth to sponsor these inner city youths, and I was one of them. And my daddy had access to all of that by being a student and into sociology and theoryology and some more ologies and some more stuff. And my mama was into some psychologies and ologies and some more ologies. And so I'm raised as a hippie, you know, an inner city geek. I'm an upper metaphysical, pimpish individual that doesn't have a kind of softer and gentler kind of appeal in my natural state. Therefore, I call myself Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy, active dominant and upper metaphysical person, ghetto Sufi master in advanced training in hell, and right now the person dark dominance that you know. Uh, just laying this out there. If you got parents that are alive right now, or you are a parent, I just want to paint a picture of actually watching yourself, you know, birth children and guide them and mold them and let them, you know, grow up, and then all of a sudden, time is not on your side, and therefore your body and your psyche starts to deteriorate, and your ability to actually communicate to your uh, generations to come become a little bit more distant. Well, then all of a sudden old age kicks in, and the sooner you know it, um, you've got to leave your physical state. And if you really haven't been exercising your metaphysically psychological state, then you're pretty much going to spend a lot of time, with nothing to do. They say that in a couple of these religious books, but you ain't hear it from me. I ain't one to gossip. Back to my daddy. My daddy's lived a long life. We just found out that he was like 80-something years old and something. I talked to his older brother, and his older brother is a gangster too. And his older brother told me, he says, man, we were watching TV in Cleveland one night, and we saw a special bulletin that said this man had been shot to death, and he was reported to be DOA at the hospital. And we looked up there and we said, hey, that's David, my daddy. So they all run down to the hospital only to find out that they resuscitated him. And therefore, here he was sitting here, shot up but resuscitated. Therefore, by the end of the night, walking his pronounced dead ass out of the hospital. Now, he's been in the Korean War, where he's won war medals and shit for having motherfuckers stabbing him all up in the chest, and he's still killing motherfuckers. I'm a killer. That's my daddy. That's the same guy I gotta go out here and pull a plug on and say goodbye to. And it's not that I'm actually saying goodbye to, and this is not a woo-woo kitty kind of thing. I actually just wanted to let this out there because, well, many of you have never met Dawud As Salam or David Owens or my pops. And I never really honestly felt the need to actually introduce you to him, but at the same time, he always told me, son, if you have to actually prove yourself to anyone, you don't need him. And it's done pretty damn good for me in my all 50 almost years. And I've had a good time enough. I've had enough time to actually talk to my pops and have him talk to me. And one of the last two talks that he had is when he actually sat back and he said, yo, man, whatever happens to this right here, when I'm gone, but right now, I'm about to go out. I got this coming, and I got this coming, and I got this coming. And I've always been that kind of kid that I couldn't actually let nobody slip and, play around with the truth that wasn't the truth. So, I would sit back and go, no, Pops, you're not going to get a Muslim wedding. Muslim funeral. You're not going to get that 21 gun salute that you got for free up in Arlington Cemetery. You're not going to get all this other stuff right here. As a matter of fact, if we're probably just going to put you in a little urn, and if I'm allowed to get a couple of ashes, I'll probably take you around a few places in the world. Just cause. Or put you in the ink and put you in my tattoo. Deep talk. How do you actually sit back and actually take and absorb the reality that your parents are expiring, and now you're next, and after you, your kids, and after your kids, their kids, and but we're now in this whole new world order. It's always what it is right now because you're looking at me and I'm looking at you and we're talking right now. And with that being said, I would just like to admit that I love my father before he's dead. But I can understand that there are two fathers. I'm not really playing with trilogies with my daddy. We're just going to go with the two. And that is the physical daddy that I used to remember that would scare the dog snot out of me. He told me, he fooled me into this shit all the way out of the Marine Corps, where I had perfectly good chance to get the best tattoos known to man. Son, if I ever catch you with a tattoo, I'm going to cut it off myself. And I believed him because his nickname is Stiletto, and I got his knives to prove it. Now, I'm not sure how much time I'm taking up, but I actually want to just leave this out here for me and for anyone else that can understand how it feels to actually let go of a physical self and then realize that what does that do for your physical self? Where should you now go? Son, if I was you, I would shine. I wouldn't let them trip over what you look like. Fuck them. Well, guess what? That's why I'm here. Because my daddy put me here. And for that reason, I'd like to actually, pay a little homage to him by leaving you with exactly what you're getting right now. The son my daddy made. Hafiz. Dawud As Salam, Ramon Edward Harris, Alpha Master Pimp Sir Easy, Baba Easy, and some old shit. But in case you forget, this is about my daddy. The man has been probably a daddy to more people that actually appreciate the mere fact that he always made sure that you didn't settle for less than more than what people think you're worth. You got to prove yourself to somebody. You don't need them. After a while, I start realizing, you know what? He's right. If I walk up to you and I got a doggone resume from, ooh, my God, we want to have you, and then you look at me in my face, and then you go, damn, we can't have Willie Dynamite. Well, guess what? Geeks come in all shapes and sizes. The hardest one for people to realize are the ones my daddy made. My daddy don't like pimpish people. I was born this way. A lot of us have been that way, and a lot of us really honestly don't have the heart to really honestly embrace your utter gangster. For me, I like to honor mines because I came from a long line of gangsters, and I have been blessed. I mean blessed. I mean rich. I mean nigga rich. I mean I have never had to hold, need, beg, borrow, or steal for no absolute reason whatsoever. And believe me, I've corrupted more people who have not survived long enough to be able to amen this video. But my daddy is with us right now. He hears me, and as a matter of fact, I've been talking with that sumbitch from a distance, just like I'm talking to you, to such a degree that me and him have got a special love relationship that expounds the motherfucker realm. Hey, motherfucker, let me sleep, motherfucker. That motherfucker was fucking with me all night long up under my bed. Sometimes I really honestly believe that sometimes when you got imp types above your head, they could actually send signals into another direction that they didn't really actually mean to, but they don't even know that they fucking with old people that now wish that they was healthy enough to go back and say, leave my son or daughter alone. We're in an upper metaphysical, mental, psychological state right now as these planets are rounding up for some real good and special shit for the next generations of the next generations to live on this earth. And we're playing. We're playing with who is this talking and this, that, and the other. I'm not Eddie Long, but I can understand why he can't be the kind of man that he is to so many people who know just what he is. They just don't want to say a goddamn thing. They just like him when he does what he do. Well, guess what? So do you. That's why you're watching me talk about my daddy. Dawud As Salam, David Owens. He's mentioned in several books. If you were to get one, get We Will Return in the Whirlwind by Maxwell Sanford, Muhammad something or another. It's on, it's on wherever you find it. Got my daddy mentioned in that whole damn thing. Then I realized my family, my daddy used to own the Civil Rights Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In 1968, when every municipality in the country was demonstrating, all because they loved them some King too, and King got shot. It got hot in every other doggone neighborhood or city but ours, because there was this little kid that also talked a whole lot of people out of rioting. And we held our protests in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I was 5 years old.